Hey my lovelies, it's Mitch here. I'm just coming on to do this Wednesday's Facebook card reveals for you all. So, if you were drawn to card number 1, we're going into the energy of the Six of Bowls. Now, the Six of Bowls is the same as the Six of Cups in more conventional tarot. So this is a really important time period to really just sort of acknowledge where you see yourself in the world, the blessings, the richness that you have access to. There's a focus here on house and home. So maybe some of you at the moment are just wanting to retreat back into house and home and are in that sort of a little bit of hermit type of energy. And maybe you're just feeling very sort of safe and secure in your home and you're kind of selective with where you go out. And that's fine, but this is a really, really important time to just sort of stop and see all of the sort of the happier parts of your life, all of those beautiful energies that you have access to. And we all have access to really good quality stuff, even when things are stressful, even when things are not always, correct. There is still blessings. It's just sometimes we're so consumed in other stuff, we don't see the blessings. It's like I had a bit of a meltdown yesterday because, as some of you saw, I put a post up. My laptop decided to just completely die, basically. And I do a lot of my work on my laptop. Obviously, it's where I do all my website stuff. It's where I do my conversion stuff for Zooms. I don't actually do my Zooms on my laptop. I use my Facebook portal, but I convert it all back over. So I need my laptop, really. It's a massive part of my work thing. And I was just really stressed yesterday. And in the end, I thought, just, you know what, send it over to the spirit world, ask spirit to take that away. And I just turned off last night and I had a complete switch off, Netflix on the sofa. Me and my husband had a cheeky sort of takeaway and everything else. And we just turned the world off. And sometimes that's what this is about, just turning the world off when things get a bit heavy or they get a little bit too much. Not always, but sometimes this card can also represent change of energies. So it could be that you might be caring for people at the moment quite a bit. This card shows a lot when there's role reversal. So it's kind of like we've got this kind of older, wiser dog giving to this kind of little young pup. And basically that usually indicates and represents that you may be caring for an older person or someone that maybe has been struggling with their health recently. Maybe there could be parents that have had operations or health is becoming a little bit more fragile and you're just having to kind of care for them a little bit. It could just be as well that, if you've lost parents or loved ones dear to you, it could just be a time when you're really celebrating and you're really remembering the connections, the memories, the emotions of that person. So sometimes this card comes in a lot when we're just sort of holding and savoring like emotional memories. And if you are in that kind of category, really remember you were lucky to have those experiences. However painful it might be that you've lost the physical essence of that person, still know and trust that actually you were lucky to have that beautiful connection in its rawest form, so this comes in a few ways, this kind of card, but yeah, it's often that sort of role reversal of what once were parents protecting us, we have to then take on that role of protecting them. So maybe some of you are going through that cycle a little bit, but it's just a time, if you feel stressed, if you feel overwhelmed, to see the bigger picture, because a lot of us are so much richer than we realize. But sometimes when we're being stressed out or when we're being challenged, we almost drop the ball on what we have here. So this lovely sort of big house, it's sort of saying, look at the quality, look at the stuff you've still got, because most of us have got a place to call our home. We may not own it, it might be rented or it might be temporary accommodation, but we usually have a place to sort of lay our head, to have sort of food in our belly. We're all a lot richer than we realise, and sometimes this card wants to just acknowledge that, really. So there's that side of things as well. Now then, as we're going into card number 2, we're going into the energies of the Five of Bowls. You guys are feeling very emotional this week. So the Five of Bowls, also known as the Five of Cups, keep priority, keep perspective. Again, don't let life's situations cloud you into a space of consumption, of tunnel vision, where you maybe get a little bit of anxiety, overwhelmment, or depression. Keep the focus, because what we've got going on here, this little dog is looking at all the things that have spilled. He's seeing the water and everything that's almost been sort of lost or taken, and he's not seeing the blessings behind him. He's got these 2 bowls and they're full up of food. Abundance is there. Sorry, I keep coughing. I got a bit of a kind of croaky throat. Let me have a proper cough, one sec. Oh, clear that out. I hope I'm not coming down with something. And in the back, this beautiful sort of big house with the light shining, the trees, keeping everything centered, keeping everything grounded. So again, don't lose your head, don't lose your bearings. We've had some intense energies. We had a new moon cycle yesterday, which is a powerful time for manifesting, but can also make some of us feel a little bit kind of up and down. New moons can affect us just the same as full moons. So maybe some of you are just feeling quite kind of vulnerable. Maybe some of you are feeling quite emotional. Maybe some of you are just looking at the things that you've lost at the moment and are really in that sort of 3D kind of muggle energy. And I suppose it's almost, don't forget your spiritual values. Don't forget your spiritual sort of principles, because anybody can be spiritual when life is good. But to be truly spiritual is when things get a little bit challenging, when things get a little bit testing, and that's when it truly matters to be spiritual. And that's when it's important to kind of really keep the faith and see the bigger picture, see beyond the intrusions or the upsets or the things that are maybe triggering or holding you back at the moment. So adjustment is required. But what is great with this card is this dog just has to turn around, walk up the road, and literally he can have access to all this cool stuff, all this great stuff. So it's not letting the challenges, the emotions, the upheavals get the better of you with whatever this is. You may well be going through this, or you may have lost some of this, but that doesn't mean that that's your final destination. It's not your final story. You know, it might be a chapter of your storybook of life, but turn the page, walk down here, you know, really welcome all of this in, because this is the abundance. This is the life of living. This is the life of fulfillment. It's all there for you. And I think it's about just not letting the head consume the reality, is what I feel with this card. Definitely. I definitely feel like I've got a cold. I really hope that's going to go. It could just be hay fever, because there's been obviously an increase in sun, and sometimes that makes the hay fever come out a little bit more. We'll go with that. And finally, as we're moving into card number 3, we are going into the energy of the Queen of Leads. Now, Queen of Leads in this deck is the same as the Queen of Swords in conventional tarot. So Queen of Leads, Queen of Swords, this is a time to really sort of stand up for yourself. It's a really important time to be seen for you. It's a really important time to sort of cherry pick how you would like your life to be. And the Queen is all about sort of making her world work for herself and for the greater kingdom that she has to provide for. So usually this would be like a sword in conventional tarot, and this is about disconnection. So it may well be, in order to move forward, you're having to now sever some things away from your life. Those could be people, circumstances, or situations that you find yourself connected or involved with. They could be your own sort of behaviours. So they could be your own sort of thoughts and ideas about life, if you've been feeling a little bit kind of lost or a bit consumed. But sever all the rubbish, get rid of all the crap, really kind of remove anything sort of holding you back or limiting your growth, and know and trust the reasons as to why you're doing what you're doing. You're not doing it to hurt or to harm anybody. You're doing it because you need life to work in your format, on your sort of terms, in your version. So this is about sitting up on the throne, being fabulous, really believing in yourself as well, placing that crown upon your head, really recognizing and knowing your worth. And if you're not being respected in spaces, places, locations, connections, whatever, remove yourself. You know, do not stay anywhere where you have outgrown. Do not stay anywhere where you are being devalued or not respected in the complete correct light. So it's a powerful card to reclaim back your focus, to reclaim back your power. So if you feel like you're being mugged off in any way, do what is needed, do what you need to recognize in order to regain kind of clarity, but owning, you know, kind of, I suppose, ownership of your life is what I want to say. Reclaim your power is very much coming in with this. And it is heavy. Sometimes it can be very upsetting. Sometimes it can be very confusing. But at the end of the day, just don't be disrespected. because you wouldn't sort of tolerate it from a friend or if you saw someone else struggling. So why should you tolerate it? You know, bottom line, put yourself first, believe in yourself and value yourself enough over anything else. And that's not being egotistic to be that way. It's self-care, it's self-love, and it's required if you've been drawn to this card. So an interesting set this week. I hope you can make sense of their messages. I'm going to leave them with you. Just a reminder to say that this coming Saturday, I'm over in Lee Park, Westbury for my last Wiltshire date of my Spirit Magic tour for this year. We're down to the last 11 tickets left now, so I'm very excited about that. It would be amazing if we can get that show to sell out. Haven't done a sellout show for a while, so it would be nice to obviously, if that does sell out, but if it doesn't, it's equally cool. But just 11 tickets left, so if you're umming and ahhing, if you're thinking you still would like to come, but you've yet to sort of secure those, get onto the website, get those tickets booked, and it would be lovely to see you there. And then on Sunday, I am over in Somerset and Dorset Animal Rescue Centre, where I will have copies of my decks for sale, and I'll be doing reads 11 till 4 o'clock in Wincanton, Somerset and Dorset Animal Rescue Centre for their Dog Fate and Fun Fair. So I'm very, very excited for that, something a little bit different. Mum is going to be joining me on both of the weekend's adventures, so that's going to be cool, that's going to be fun. So yeah, looking forward to it. So have a beautiful week, look after yourselves. Remember, if you've booked Zooms with me at the moment, I do have problems with my laptop, so make sure when we do a session, you try and record your end, because I'm going to say, guys, there's no guarantee I'm going to be able to kind of do recordings at the moment, and it's not to sort of put anybody off until my laptop is fixed. It's just how it is. It's life, unfortunately. But I'll leave it with you. Have a cool one. Look after yourselves. And I will see you all very soon. Take care. Love and blessings. Bye for now.